Hi, this is Tony Casa Esmeralda. I hope you like my channel. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you for those who have liked and subscribed. Hit that like button down below. Today I'm just going to talk about a few things about my garden and the ducks, which I wanted to do the other day. And there was a lot of filming done and I just harvested. Well, let me go in the house and I'll show you what I just harvested. So let me do this in here. Right there, a nice Blau Königin melanzani, and then there was some of the green peppers and tomatoes. So about, I would say about 5 kilos, maybe 4.5 kilos of tomatoes. I could get the scale out, but anyways. So that's a pretty good load. You're just gonna make lots of pasta and sauces, make pizza and sauce. Anything that's basically Mediterranean, make possibly chicken and sauce, all these things, paprika and chicken and sauce. There's lots of different combinations I can do here. So I did this the other day, but let's go down and talk about the ducks and some of the other things I wanted to talk about that I didn't get a chance. So the squash has been really weeded. Like I looked yesterday and today, and I let these guys, they're ready to go at 8 o'clock, so they're dying to get out. The goats are, so they're really weeding. I don't want to get too much into that because, and then I got the sprinkler over there that's running. The sprinkler is kind of running over there. So off the well pump here, this well has been awesome this summer because of a very, very long winter. It has supplied me with a lot of water for this garden, so that's all good because I don't have regular water. So yeah, so they're going through the ground. So the melons are done, and that what I thought was a cantaloupe, as I made in the other film, it's a rattata melon, and it's actually green. It's like a green white inside. It was very delicious. Still, there's another half of it for my breakfast. But these guys are picking through the weeds now. I still watered for a few minutes here this morning because I do want to keep the ground moist. And then I do want to turn it over and then get the ash pile, which is over here, and then start doing my winter garden right on top of it. So just get the ash pile in there, rotate it, get the tractor, everything. So after everything else sort of goes here and that, I do want to get some cabbages, maybe try just some winter vegetables and things like that. And so it takes like a good 3 months. So I started beginning of May, so May, June, and now it is end of July, and day after tomorrow is August. So it does take a good 90 days. It's possibly the harvest time is a little bit earlier here, which is really nice because you can start harvesting already about anywhere between 2 and 3 months. You'll get some food. And some other regional areas in a lot of colder climates, you do get into the end of the 3-month period before you ever do harvest and anything. So by using the tree mulch and stuff like that, and then on my back property I have a lot of thorn bushes and a lot of these dark green type of bushes that are very high in acidity, very alkaline, very pH type of bushes and that. And I've been cutting those bushes with my chainsaw, and then I bring it up here to my goats, and then the goats love that sort of they do love that sort of bush to eat and stuff like that. So they chew it down in the corral, and I go in there with my chainsaw, I cut it up into little bitty pieces, and then I mix it in here with the hay, and the bugs hate it. The ducks don't like it because what happens is you change the alkalinity and the pH of your planting, but you still can grow vegetables and fruit. Maybe not to a very high quality sort of a variety, but it's still a very edible variety, and then to me it's still delicious too. But so by using like wood and bushes from trees and things like that, and using hay, you are changing the alkalinity and the pH in your soil, and by mixing and blending it in and using your Zappa and all these things, and by tractoring it over and everything, you're going beyond the conventional method of farming, because the conventional method of farming is just using a tractor and then using the chemical fertilizers and things like that, and allowing the chemical fertilizers to do everything for you in your soil. And basically then you have a big die-off in the end. And as you can see here, like this stuff is still kind of wanting to grow, like these melons and that, right? I got some eggs coming here. Those chickens are laying them eggs. Anyways, so this stuff is sort of kind of wanting to grow. There's still some melons in here. Like there's a watermelon over here and here. This is like a sugar baby. It has not fruited at all this summer. I could put some organic fertilizer in this and try to make it go. Maybe I will still get watermelons in August, so that's why I'm just watering it a little bit every day. These are funny because last year I had no melons all summer, and then all of a sudden in September it started growing me melons, and I was eating melons in November. And actually, yeah, so I see one that is still fruiting down here. It's trying. There's like a little one there, which is really cool. So the ducks, as I said, they're weeding through the garden. They're going around, and they will not eat the vegetable, like the growing vegetable. They will not eat even the flower and stuff like that, because they can notice the alkalinity and the pH of them. It doesn't satisfy. But the weeds are different, because the weeds are feeding off the ground, like they're feeding off the soil. So the weeds, they are not, like as I said before, when I had that hugel mound, which is down there, there's no weeds in that hugel mound, right? So these weeds, they're feeding off the soil, and that's a different alkalinity of pH. So the topping part of this is the wood chips or the hay and things like that. So that is something good to look into, is to add like thorn bushes and that sort of as a mulch to your garden, or these bushes that grow, these wild bushes that grow here in the Ionian Sea area and things like that. There's hundreds and hundreds of different types of varieties of bushes, and some of them, half of them have thorns on them and things like that, and that's the one, and those are the ones that you want. And the ones that my goats, I even have my goats around here, and they won't touch these vegetables at all, because it's not very tasty to them. But the vegetables that I'm growing, the outcome is still very tasty and delicious to me. So they're kind of picking away at it. It's too bad that I didn't have more, because I did try to go for 8. So I started off with like 8 little ducklings. Frida got like 1 or 2, so we ate those ones. And then the fox got another 2, and then the fox got half of my turkeys, and it was just too hot for the turkeys to survive. And I would have liked to have had some more turkeys and things like that. So they can see like where the sprinkler was already. They're kind of like going through here, and they're picking all this up and everything like that. And in the springtime, when I had ducks, so there was another set of 4 ducks came in, and the fox got all of them, because of the new corral. It did have some holes in it and things like that. So, but they weeded like the whole front of my property here. Like they were around just for like 2 weeks. I let them out, and they weeded the whole front of the property. So this is just 4 ducks basically doing my whole entire garden. They will eat like of the 30 liter, was it 25 or 30 liter buckets. So they will eat, like one duck will eat about 1 bucket a day full of weeds on average, which is pretty incredible. So you got about 4 right now, you got about 4 buckets or about 25 liters of weeds being eaten a day from one duck. So it's pretty neat. So now they're saying it's a little too hot out, we're just gonna take another break. But I wanted to get into that and to use nature, and you know, to use nature and to use animals to do some of the things yourself, because I am at like 100 days, right, of growing and stuff, and I'm doing this all by myself here, and I am super tired, right? Basically I just want to go lay down and take another nap now and things like that, because I cannot water during the night the squash. The Hokkaido, which is the pumpkin which I had down there, I can water that one during the day. In the early morning hours I can water the Hokkaido. But this Mediterranean squash, if the leaves are just too big on it, and if I water this anytime in the early morning or something like that, so you know, like after hours, after the sun sets or something like that, I can water this Mediterranean squash, because the leaves will just go yellow on it. It'll just ruin it. So the water has to be down into the ground before, on the Mediterranean squash, before anything can fruit and things like that. It's a very hardy variety, and it's growing very big and very long. It's gone off onto the other side of the back property there. So I wanted to get into that if you're growing vegetables, and that use your animals. If you have goats and things like that, if you can train your goats, if you can use ducks and things like that to do your weeding, and for goats to get your mulch and things like that, that's very important, and those things will help you out if you're doing things alone like me. So that was basically what I wanted to get into and talk about today, and you know, we'll possibly see you in the next vid. So yeah, see, like even like these olive trees, this is very like this type of green stuff, and the bugs don't like this, right? And you don't see like any bugs on my trees or anything like that. And then the other thing is, because I don't use pesticides or herbicides here or anything like that, so these trees, they are like human beings. They can develop, or plants that you grow, they can develop an immune system. You can train them to develop an immune system to be resistant to bugs and to be resistant to other animals, so other animals don't eat it. It's just a matter of finding the right consistency of growing conditions, and to learn about those things, and to respect nature. So nature is your biggest friend, and when you're growing stuff and you want to grow and have foods without the herbicides and the pesticides, and just grow naturally. Okay, so thank you very much for those who have liked and subscribed to my channel. This is Tony at Casa Esmeralda. I hope I've inspired you to go outside, to plant and grow your own food, and to do things on your own. We'll see you then in the next one. So take care, and bye for now.